Merry Christmas Eve, everyone. I'm Instructor Thompson, my self defense studio, and it is during the holidays that I like to maintain all of the training that we do just because I don't want to fall behind. Remember, everything that you do in any skill set, if you don't use it, you lose it. Everything cerebral and physical into your muscle memory as well. It can be very difficult if you go a long period of time without practicing. So it's always easier to take a little bit of time each day, maintain the skill, and get a little bit of practice in. With that, tonight we're going to be doing one of my favorite lessons, back to basics, Kali, the single stick. And you may be wondering, what's up with the glasses? Well, I learned from Sensei Jeff that if you attach your glasses on with the microphone instead of having it on your clothing, it prevents all of that ruffling around every time you move, especially if you're doing striking. And that was ingenious. So credit to Sensei Jeff. If you don't already follow him, he's on TikTok. That's Jeff with a G, and great instructor, a lot of really good content. I also happen to be at the other dojo tonight, and I don't have my LED lights where I can adjust the brightness, and it is quite bright in here, so I put my clip-ons on. Although it did occur to me that it looked like we're training for the Matrix movie, and to be honest, it's not my least favorite way of training. So that's why for the glasses tonight, and hope you'll join me. Sunglasses and all if you have them. Grab a stick. If you don't have a stick, you can use a hairbrush, you can use a pen, you can use a marker, you can use a fork. Anything you have to train along with this. And it's very important to remember everything we do in Kali, Arnis, Eskrima, any tool is simply an extension of your own hand. That is all. It can be done open-handed as well, and we'll review that in just a moment. We're going to be doing lower cradle, 7 count. Now, back to basics. The reason we're only going up to 7, it's the foundational material that you can always practice and you can never get enough of. The reason being is that all of that foundation is what builds up to black belt. It's always appropriate to go back to your lower level ranks and practice and train that material. So for lower cradle, we have the length of the tool going downward. For upper cradle, we have the length of the tool going upward. Want to make sure we have our puño, so we act like we're swinging a baseball bat, and we remove that bottom hand for our puño here, making sure we have this as a secondary defensive and offensive tool. Same thing for our lower cradle, making sure we have this for our puño. So you want to join in, grab a stick, a hairbrush, or anything you have, fighting stance. Let's begin. We're going to start off with the first 2 from the 7 count. Coming down off the x-axis, 1. We're going to do that same wrist manipulation that we have in the upper cradle. Turn our wrist here and come back down across. We're going to come across for our number 3 and our number 4. I'm going to chamber. And I do my number 5 differently depending on if I'm upper cradle or lower cradle, and depending on if I have a stick or a smaller weapon like a knife or hairbrush, if that's what you're using. I do it differently on our number 5 and the number 8 and 9. We'll go over that in the next series. But for this, when we hit our number 5, I'm going to do it as a punch. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to strip the strike. So as I go in, I'm punching into the solar plexus and then hitting the rib, stripping it across. From right there, I'm going to drop this hand down just a few inches, and I'm going to whip it back up, coming back up off that x-axis with the tip of my stick pointing towards top corner of the ceiling right there. Right there, I'm going to drop this hand down again, just a little bit lower, come back across, going back up, right there for our number 7. Let's take it from this angle. We're in our fighting stance. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. I'm going to chamber, hit with that punch for my number 5, strip, striking across the ribs. I'm going to drop this down just a little bit, and then whipping motion back up for number 6, coming back down again there for our number 7. Once more from this angle, if you'll turn, we're facing the same direction. We're here. Ready? 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Chamber for 5, and strike, strip, drop it down just a little bit, whip back up, and then drop it down again for our number 7. From right there, I double cover out, and I'm gone. And that is our back to basics for Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, everybody. Thank you for watching.